MANIERE could be delivering one of the best collaborations of the entire year. This is the MANIERE Air Jordan 5 Black Collective. First off, I want to give a huge thank you to MANIERE and James Whitner for sending this pair my way. I really appreciate it, and I really like this shoe. Besides the fact that they sent it to me, just because a brand sends me a shoe doesn't mean I'm going to say that I like it, because that's just not honest. And in this case, I really love this shoe, so I figured this is a good shoe to review. Plus, it's 10 days early, and that's always a good thing. You guys love seeing early reviews, so I'm really excited about that as well. However, if you follow me over on my other social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok, at @RealSethFowler on both, you may have already seen my unboxing of this shoe. And so, because I already unboxed the shoe, I'm not going to go that in depth in the packaging because we did already sort of cover it, although I will go over it a little bit in this video. So if you want some more information on the sneaker, make sure to check out those YouTube shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, all at @RealSethFowler. Please follow me over there as well. There's a ton of short form content and sneakers and things that I talk about that never gets talked about in a long form video. So if you guys want to see even more, make sure to follow me over on those platforms. But hey, with that being said, why don't we talk about this sneaker right here? This is the MANIERE Air Jordan 5 Black Collective. It is the third MANIERE Air Jordan 5 to release. And the good news is, if you want a pair of these, you don't have that much longer to wait because they officially release on July 25th for a retail price of $225. Now, apparently, these release exclusively at MANIERE, so they might be more limited than any of the other MANIERE Air Jordan 5s, so keep that in mind, but hopefully you can hit on a pair for retail. However, if you don't hit on a pair for retail or you want to grab a pair early for resale prices, make sure to check out the links through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen and through the description below. Before we dive into the shoe though, let's first take a look at the box. Now, unlike a lot of other MANIERE collaborations, this box does not come with an external sleeve, which I'm fine with. That sleeve actually kind of can be a bummer to take on and off whenever you want to take the shoes in and out of your shoebox. That being said, it does add this next level of like premium feel to the packaging, which I do appreciate. So I'm fine with it. I'm also fine with it not being there. Now, the box itself comes in this sort of white semi-gloss, and it's got this really cool MANIERE A pattern. It's a pattern that you see on a lot of their other sneakers, but it's cool to actually see it on the box. Now, because this is a promo pair, you're not gonna have the regular size tag, but I did grab a size 9, which is my true size, and the official colorway of this shoe is white, violet, or burgundy. Based on the shortened versions of the word, I'm assuming that's what it is. Once again, shout out to MANIERE for sending this pair my way, much appreciated. Now, inside the box, you have another detail which I really like, which is actually this paper that, of course, the shoes come wrapped in. And the paper has some information written on it. Okay, so the paper reads, MANIERE, June 19th, 2025, Atlanta, Harlem, Houston, Chicago, London, DC. This collection embodies a commitment to products inspired by the greatest player ever. Now, underneath that, you've got this list that says, do good, human rights overall, you see us and we see you, we need access to a higher standard, and we have the right to express ourselves freely. I love when brands really consider every detail, and it's obvious with this particular collaboration and other MANIERE collaborations that they're very, very intentional about every detail. They consider every little part of the shoe and every little part of the packaging. So things like this, I really like because it just shows that they care, and because of that, I care. But that's sort of a light overview of the box. If you want to learn more about the packaging, again, check out that short form content over on Instagram and on TikTok. So the MANIERE Air Jordan 5 Black Collective is part of MANIERE's latest collection called Act 2, The Reclamation. The way that MANIERE describes this capsule on their Instagram is every summer tells a story, but some stories are reclaimed. Not the start, but the return. From the South soil to the city's rhythm, we move with what endures, memory, dignity, and the beauty of what always was ours. MANIERE presents Act 2, The Reclamation. Our next chapter begins today. My favorite thing about MANIERE sneakers is the storytelling that goes into not only the sneaker itself, but the packaging and the entire launch around the shoe. And because of the really strong meaning behind every piece in each one of these capsules, everything comes across as not only feeling very premium, but actually being very premium. MANIERE is heavily rooted in black culture, and according to James Whitner, everything that they do is timeless, classic, and luxury. And all of those ideas and concepts are communicated not only through the storytelling surrounding the capsule, but also through the product itself. Without even knowing any of the inspiration behind this shoe, looking at this sneaker, you know that it's not a standard pair of Air Jordan 5s. It is a special, premium, more luxurious pair of a model that we all know and love. Obviously, a lot of brands are driven by passion, but it's very, very evident that James Whitner and MANIERE and the entire team behind all these projects are incredibly passionate about what they're doing. Not to keep going back to all of the little details, but you can tell through all of these little details that there's a lot of love going into each one of these projects. But why don't we talk about some of the little details that make up this shoe? And again, everything about this shoe is considered and is there for a reason. So I don't know half of the things that have gone into the shoe. Now, they've only communicated through their social media and through some of their posts some of the reasons why they did certain things. So I'm sure the reason there's white leather on the top of the shoe is probably very specific. I don't know that reason, but it looks good. So for me, I mean, that's cool. I guess I should say it looks good. I like it because it looks good, but I also like it because I know that there's a reason that went into it looking like this. So with that being said, a majority of the upper of the shoe is covered in in this white leather. The last two MANIERE Air Jordan 5s didn't actually come in leather. They came in a nubuck or a suede. I don't remember exactly which one it was. They looked really good and they were different, but I really like this white leather. It seems like it should be more durable, and I'm not as worried about wearing this shoe out in the rain. Not that I try to wear my nice sneakers out in the rain, but sometimes it happens. And there's something very classic about a white pair of Air Jordan 5s. But obviously you had shoes like the Grape 5s and the Fire Red 5s, so the use of white leather on this shoe really is a nice callback, but also a nice material to use on this particular silhouette. Continuing up on the shoe to the eye stay, of course you've got some more white leather. Then you get to the panels that house the eyelets, and rather than them being some sort of plastic or TPU like you usually have on a pair of Air Jordan 5s, they decided to take the more premium approach and instead use leather with punched out holes, which I really like. It's small details like that you don't even see from a distance, but when you get up close, you're like, wow, they went the extra mile on this shoe. Weaving through the eyelets, you've got these black flat laces. Now, what's really cool about these laces themselves is not actually the way that they look, but the way that they're made. Both sets of laces that you get inside the box are woven with cotton sourced from seed to shirt Black Collective, the first black-owned, vertically integrated apparel supply chain in the United States. Not only do these laces look great with the shoe, you've got the black set of laces, of course flat and not really wax feeling, but sort of a matte finish, and then a cream set, or I guess a sail set. But even where they source the laces from is considered by MANIERE, which is really cool. It's an awesome partnership, and it ties in incredibly well with the capsule. One thing that I forgot to mention because I took these off to wear the shoes, the lace locks on the sneakers come in this sort of semi-translucent sail color with a maroon colored, lace actual lock. These come on the shoes when you take them out of the box. I don't always wear lace locks with Air Jordan 5s because it's just harder for me to tie the laces that way. Underneath the laces, in the center of the tongue, you get to the semi-translucent netting, which of course features the MANIERE A logo all over it, which I love. It's another incredibly subtle detail that you literally don't notice until you get up close to the shoe, but when you see it, you're like, wow, that's dope. At the top of the tongue, you've got some more maroon, and in the center of the tongue, you've got your embroidered Jumpman in what I believe is violet ore. Of course, on the left tongue, instead of having the Jumpman, you've got the MANIERE A logo. Moving inside the sneaker, like every other or most other MANIERE collaborations, you've got this quilted maroon sock liner, which just adds to that premium feel of the shoe. The top of the ankle opening is not finished like a regular pair of Air Jordan 5s where the material kind of folds in. Instead, it's kind of left, I wouldn't say raw because it's not raw, but left as a flat edge, which I really like. On the back of the tongue, you've got this patch with Michael Jordan's signature, and then the fabric that they use on the back of the tongue is actually this MANIERE logo patch fabric, which I really like, and it gives it another level of detail and interest. It's kind of the same detail on the insole of the shoe. You've got more of that MANIERE A logo patterning. You've also got Nike Air embroidered into the heel, which is cool. That being said, because it is embroidered all the way through the insole, it doesn't compress as nicely as it could in the heel, but it's not a big deal. You don't really notice it when you're wearing it. The insole is also not that much foam. Like Air Jordan insoles are never that comfy, so it's not like it's taking away that much comfort from the shoe. I didn't even realize that it was embroidered all the way through until I took it out the first time, and I was like, oh, interesting. Another thought on the insole is that because it's embroidered, it won't wear away the more that you wear it, like a pair of printed insoles, which is even cooler and even more premium. As far as sizing goes, the MANIERE Air Jordan 5 Black Collectives do seem to fit like every other pair of Air Jordan 5s. For me, that's true to size. Someone called me true to size Seth on one of my videos in the comment section. And you know what, honestly, yeah, most of the shoes that I buy are true to size. Most shoes nowadays are true to size, so that's fair. I'm fine being called true to size Seth. Now I will say if you have wider feet, because there's not a lot of give in the side of this shoe, maybe go up half a size, but if you wear Air Jordan 5s, grab your standard Air Jordan 5 size and you'll be good to go. Continuing back in the shoe to the midfoot, you've got more of this MANIERE logo netting, which is so dope. And then moving towards the heel, you've got this 3D 23 embroidered into the lateral side of the shoe in violet ore and black. And what's cool is that the black actually acts as like a shadow, so it looks even more 3D than it already is. Then on the back of the upper, or I guess the heel of the shoe, you've got the Nike Air branding embroidered into the heel, which another detail that I love. A lot of collaborations don't use the Nike Air branding. That used to be reserved for just OG pairs, I believe. But the fact that they're using it on more premium collaborations like this is rad. And especially when it's embroidered into the heel and gives it this sort of 3D feel, even cooler. I love it. Then moving down on the sneaker, you get to the midsole that features hits of violet ore, maroon, and black. And I love how they're all similar tones so that there isn't a lot of contrast, but there is enough separation to where it creates some interest on the shoe. Then moving to the bottom of the pair, you get to your semi-translucent outsole, or mostly semi-translucent outsole, which features the A logo on the right shoe and the Jumpman on the left shoe, and of course has the Nike branding in the midfoot. I'm a huge MANIERE fan. I've loved almost every single pair that they've put out. Obviously, the 3s are my favorite. I think my second favorite is the 1s or the 4s. I really like the 2s as well. The airships are dope. And I've liked the previous 5s, but this is by far my favorite pair of 5s that they've dropped. There's something about the contrast between the very bright upper and the darker midsole, and the fact that the materials that they used feel more, I guess they're more of a tie-in with the 35th anniversary of the Air Jordan 5. They tie a little bit more in with the sort of OG feel of the shoe, which I love, and of course the storytelling is dope. This 5 is just so fire to me, and again, I'm not just saying that because they sent me this pair. I genuinely believe that I would have bought this pair regardless, and I do think that because it's only releasing an MANIERE, it is possible that it will be more limited than other pairs of Air Jordan 5s that they've dropped, so if you want a pair of these, expect it to be harder to get than the previous pairs. In terms of where the shoe ranks, I think in my MANIERE tier list, this is probably probably tied for 3. I think it goes, like I said, 3, 1, 4, which are sort of tied in the middle, and then probably the 5s tied with maybe the 2s. I know people don't love the 2s, but I think they're dope. It's really incredible to see what MANIERE has done over the years and just how many pairs of sneakers they've collaborated on with Jordan Brand and with Nike. I mean, in this drop alone, they're dropping a restock of the Air Forces and a restock of the Air Max 95s. That's just 2 silhouettes right there, and I already mentioned a bunch of the Jordan silhouettes that they've collaborated on. I think they are one of the most prolific Jordan collaborators, and for good reason. They create really high quality products with incredible storytelling, and they're different. Like, when have we ever seen a collaboration in this color scheme on the Air Jordan 5 other than an MANIERE collaboration? Same thing with the 3s. I think the Air Jordan 3 MANIEREs, the originals, are probably the best collaboration Air Jordan 3 of all time. I still think that years later. Shout out again to everyone over at MANIERE. You guys absolutely killed this collaboration. It's amazing. And seriously, look more into the story behind this shoe. It's really interesting. I couldn't cover all of it, and they haven't really let us know all of it through their social media. So when the shoe actually drops, just take a minute, read through everything that they post on their website. It's a really, really cool story. It's a really cool inspiration, and I definitely recommend checking it out. But with that being said, I would love to know your thoughts on the upcoming MANIERE Air Jordan 5 Black collectives. Is it a pair that you want to pick up for yourself? Do you want to grab the 95s or the Air Forces that are dropping alongside it? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.